All right, in this video, I wanted to cover top 5 New Balance models that I think you should consider trying in 2024. Now, the 550 was like kind of the staple for New Balance in the last handful of years. Definitely one of the lifestyle models that was consumed massively ever since the reintroduction from ALD. Now it is 2024. Styles are changing a little bit. It seems that mesh runners are coming back pretty heavy in 2024. And they have a couple other pairs from New Balance that I think you should pay attention to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my 5 that I think you should consider. The first one being the New Balance 1906R. This is a 2000s inspired mesh runner that features the Absorb technology and energy cushioning to provide you a nice responsive ride, and has stability web outsole, so it says on the website. But this is the same outsole and midsole as the 2002R model, which has been pretty popular from New Balance, and those were derived from another model that I'll be talking about in just a second. Anyways, the 1906R is going to be one that I think New Balance is going to be pushing quite a bit, because we've already seen Action Bronson have a collab that is going to be coming, as well as Salehe Bembury. So both of the famed collaborators that New Balance has worked with in the last handful of years are bringing their own version of this model, which lets us know that the mesh runner vibe is really, really strong. And I'm definitely here for it. I love all of the bright colors of the mesh usually for these runners. Also, the 2000 era runners were just amazing back in the day anyway. So it's funny how time changes. Basketball sneakers are now used casually. Running sneakers from the 2000 era that were serious running sneakers are now brought back in the lifestyle segment, and I think they look great. You can actually get a couple different colorways available right now on New Balance's website, just standard pairs that they have in stock. However, obviously the collaborations are something that they're going to be pushing. I wonder if we'll see a Stone Island one or some of the other ones, maybe a Bodega or something as well. But very interesting to see all the collabs happening, and hopefully they'll be bringing more energy to this model, since I think it is a nice looking one. But with that said, it's going to tie us back into another model that I think that you should pay attention to, which is the 860 V2. Now, as I was mentioning, the 2002R and the 1906R, they actually borrow the midsole from the 860 V2. So the 2002R was actually a retro model that they brought back, but they did a midsole swap on it because the original one was just a little bit too expensive. So kind of cool that they end up recycling the midsole. And again, if you like the overall feel and look and comfort of that 2002R midsole, it's the same one as on the 860 V2. And proper that ALD did the first collaboration bringing back the 860. I think it's a great looking model and overall pretty comfortable, very similar to the 1906. It's really more stylistically which one you like better. But the 860 V2 is a nice entry level runner, and you can actually get them on sale as low as 99 bucks right now directly on New Balance. So link in the description if you guys are interested in buying any of the shoes I'm going to be talking about. If you guys use my links, it does give me a little bit of a kickback. Lets New Balance know that you guys mess with the channel as well. Greatly appreciate it. I should also mention that New Balance does have the 530 model, which is actually a beginner mesh runner that is only $99 at retail. And I posted these when they are on sale a little bit lower, but it's actually surprisingly nice in hand and on feet for that budget starting price of $99. It seems like every brand has their own version of a mesh runner that they're going to be reintroducing or bringing back. Obviously, the Nike Vomero 5 was very strong last year, as well as the ASICS Kano 14s. So it will be fun to see how this evolves in 2024. All right, so transitioning from the mesh runners, the next pair that I think you should pay attention to is the New Balance FuelCell Rebel V4. Now, this one's going to be releasing very soon, and I am very, very excited for it. I think it's March that it's dropping, but it looks amazing. It's the 4th version of the FuelCell Rebel line. The FuelCell Rebel V2 was excellent. The V3 was amazing. Very, very lightweight, very breathable. I believe the new one's going to be 7 ounces at $140. Definitely sign me up for that. The best change about this one is actually going to be using a PIBA midsole with FuelCell. So I'm really excited to try these out and see how they are on feet. Obviously, they're running sneakers, but casually, they're really comfortable as well. Very, very soft and squishy for the lower stack of FuelCell that we had from the previous year. This one looks a lot bigger, and the fact that it's 7 ounces is just crazy, and they didn't raise the price too much. 140 is a pretty reasonable price point, if you ask me, for what you're going to be getting in this. And the whole New Balance running lineup with the FuelCell looks crazy. The SC Elite V4s, the SC Trainer V3s, even the SC Pacer V2s looks just all beefy and crazy. It looks very futuristic, and I love the look of this. Even from a casual perspective, I think that most of these shoes are going to be very, very good. And I will be hopefully getting every single one of them that I just mentioned because I'm very interested in trying them. Love the FuelCell technology, love the look of the running sneakers, and I like that New Balance is bringing us some nice retro runners, but also some futuristic runners. Now, speaking of absolutely amazing runners, we have the New Balance Fresh Foam X 1080 V13. This is the current flagship model of the New Balance running sneakers that are $165. Now, FuelCell is kind of the creme de la creme, like the most expensive $200+ pairs. The Fresh Foam line is usually a little bit more affordable, and the 1080 series is kind of like that catch-all running sneaker that they usually release. It's basically the entry level to like professional runner that lots and lots of people enjoy. But the V13s are super, super good, very soft and squishy on feet. It's probably one of my favorite Fresh Foam X experiences on feet, and I've tried the last 4 versions of this model. If you're trying to decide whether or not you get the 1080 V12 on sale or the V13, personally I would say go with the 13s. There's no comparison. They're just better on feet. Overall, it's going to be probably my top vacation sneaker that I'm going to be wearing in 2024. But New Balance isn't done there with the Fresh Foam line. They have the More V5, and they have a Balos model as well that looks really crazy. Both of these models look very promising, but we have to wait till August for them to drop. And the last one on the countdown is just simply the New Balance 99X in general. Now, the thing about this that I like is that you can switch it up. If you like the 998 model the best looking, then go for the 998. If you like the 993, the 990 V2, the 990 V6, 991s, whatever it is, just choose the one that you like the best, because ultimately all of them are going to be very comfortable and they have an overall classic feel on your feet that you can dress up or dress down. Personally, I recommend getting the gray colorways of them, like the 991 V1s, the UK version. I think that those ones are readily available. The gray colorways are just definitely the most iconic and most classic for New Balances in general. And if you're looking for the newest models of the 990 lineage, the 991 V2 is the UK version, and it's the latest and greatest one. It is expensive at $250, but I personally think it's the best looking 990 model to date. And it does have FuelCell in the midsole as well, so it is a pretty comfortable pair. But the materials are excellent, and just stylistically, I love the look of the 991 V2 as well as the 991 V1. Also, the 990 V6 is the latest and greatest from the Made in the USA collection. Again, this one features FuelCell in the midsole as well. It does have less suedes on the upper, but the price point is a little bit more palatable at $200 instead of $250. Obviously, all these choices are going to be very expensive, but if you're used to buying Jordan Retros at $190, $210, or whatever it might be, try a pair of New Balance out if you haven't. And I feel like a lot of people are going to be very, very impressed with the quality that you get, the overall comfort as well. It's something that I think that most people end up appreciating once they throw on their feet. Another advantage that New Balance has over Jordans is the fact that they can create a 90s or 2000 inspired sneaker that looks like a retro model, but they're actually brand new. Like the 990 V2, the 990 V6, those are new models, but if you didn't know anything about New Balance, you'd think that it was like a late 90s model or a 2000 model that was brought back and retro. Jordan brand has a really hard time of trying to do this. Obviously, anytime they bring out a hybrid version of a Jordan 1, 2, 3, a Spizike, a Son of Mars or whatever it is, people really don't like those models for some reason. They're not true to the OG. It's like they have to go super, super OG in order for people to appreciate the sneakers nowadays. Even if they use new materials and an OG color blocking, like the satin Air Jordan 1s or the Royal Reimagined Air Jordan 1s, they're not being generally accepted right now, which is pretty crazy. New Balance, on the other hand, has created literally new models that look and feel very much like the originals, but are getting high praise from collectors that are past and present. So I feel like they really do have an advantage when it comes to this like retroistic sort of space where they can create new stuff and also new colorways on old models and have it all be like accepted. I think it's pretty awesome to see. But leave a comment in the comment section. What is your favorite model from New Balance right now? What are the ones that you guys are rocking with in 2024? Personally, I think that these ones that I mentioned are going to be ones to look out for, but everybody has their own opinion, and I like that you have your own stylistic choices for your own feet as well. So leave a comment, let me know what you guys are going to be going with. Appreciate y'all for stopping by and watching. If you guys like this video, drop a like, subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you back for some more content. Peace.